There we go. We're on. So we got Daryl Stanley here. How you doing, dude?
Good, man. Good. Happy to be here, man. Appreciate you bringing me on.
Yeah, you've been asked for. Emily Inman and Tana Bird. She's pretty excited. I was telling her you were going to be on, but Emily was like, "Yeah, get Daryl on."
Oh man, I appreciate that. Thanks, Emily.
Yeah. So, man, I just get to it. I've known you for a little bit, not too long, but I haven't even figured out how'd you get into the industry, dude.
Oh man. Probably the funnier story is how many times I've tried to get out. But so yeah, actually the raw story is I spent the age of 24 in kind of like a freak out mode, and I spent like a year surfing couches, not working, not sleeping, not eating, and just trying to figure out life. And I thought the best way to do that was to hit pause on life. Mistake, by the way. Don't anybody try that. um, and when I tried to just get back on my feet and just get plugged back into life, I got fired from two jobs back to back for my attitude, and then
Wait a minute, your attitude?
surprise.
One of the nicest guys I've met.
Tell you what, getting fired can be the best thing for you sometimes.
Yeah, true
Um,
that.
and so yeah, man. So right before I got fired from the second job, who actually happened to be a really good friend of mine at the time, that one hurt. Another friend contacted me and said, "Hey, if you want to learn how to run ropes for me, learn these 5 knots in a week and show up." And so, man, like, and then I get fired like that. I think it was like that day, maybe it was crazy.
Oh, geez.
So then I take a week, learn these knots, learned them till I learned them blindfolded. Literally, was closing my eyes and tying these knots so that I would be ready. Like I was so pumped.
What
And
uh, what knots were they? Do you remember?
oh, I remember a few of them. I know it was either the bowling, butterfly, just a slip knot. I think the clove hitch, and I don't know if it was timber hitch yet or not. I know I didn't have to learn the cow hitch yet because I didn't learn that one for like
Yeah,
another year and a half, maybe 2 years. It was crazy.
that's pretty wild. They threw the butterfly on you like then. Like I don't know. I've always figured that was like a little bit more of an advanced knot, but that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And well, what's really funny, oh, then of course you run and bowl and the different configurations. What's really funny was then, I learned them and I seriously was tying them with my eyes closed. First day on the job, the way they set their porter at the time was actually with just running bowling. They hadn't learned a cow hitch yet either because it was a really young company. And I go to tie it, and like being in a real world scenario, it all just left my brain.
Yeah,
So I was scared, right? I was like, "Oh no, I promise I learned these." But uh, but yeah, man. Got started with that, and again, having two firings under my belt, both for attitude and whatnot. I was ready to go, and I was ready to get it. Um, and I, had just become engaged and was about to get married actually at the same time. Um, and so I was like, I was motivated. I needed this,
yeah.
so I'll save the long ins and outs. But I ended up actually leaving the industry to try to go pursue other things. That same year,
Oh,
um,
really?
and then ended up coming back to the same company, just realizing that I was just chasing dreams. I thought tree work was a dead end career, dead end job. I didn't see any growth potential in it, so I tried to leave, and then I came back and um, did that again a year later. So like I did it almost immediately after coming in, and then worked in the industry for a year, and then left again. Went to horse logging, did that for a year. Then I got bored with that. Really, I was like swinging in the trees a lot more than I just like dropping them all day long. So I came
Yeah,
back, and at that point, my boss was like, "Listen, you've left twice. If you're coming back, you're giving me 3 years, and you're getting certified." I'm like, all right, that's cool. He's like, and I'll teach you everything I know about the business. I was like, perfect. So we actually wrote up a contract, and I was committing to 3 years, and one of the best things I've ever done.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. He pushed you into that. 'Cause, I mean,
Yeah,
I guess you could tell that you enjoyed it. You kept coming back, or there was something to it. Maybe not necessarily enjoying it, but there's something there. You're
I mean, personally, I felt like I was supposed to be there. Every time I ran, I was really running for myself in different ways.
yeah.
And there was something there I needed. And honestly, that 3 year commitment of, the one thing I knew that I needed to do was honor my word. And so it didn't matter how hard it got. I was there. And so, that was really transformational. Cause, I didn't work with necessarily the people, I didn't work with a lot of people I really cared for. I mean, like the owner, I really respect him. His other main climber, really respect him. He became a good friend, but we actually butted heads quite a bit there in the beginning. And then he hired these other guys. I had one of these guys who actually pinned me against my house. It was basically threatening me and my entire family after he got fired. So, like, I mean,
Oh, holy cow.
unsavory guys.
Yeah.
Um, and learning how to work through all that. Like, it was really good for me to not, to be locked in for that time period.
Yeah, man, that's wild. Like I've worked for luckily I've been fortunate. Like every company I've worked for or with has been pretty decent guys. I've never been pinned up on the side of a house getting threatened, but there is yeah, I don't think I've ever had any kind of hostilities like that.
Yeah, he was a unique one.
Yeah. So is this all in North Carolina or
Yeah, it's actually all of Virginia. I was in the Blacksburg area for a long time, and and that's where I got started in tree work. And I was with that company. Well, that including the horse logging, which is also another friend of ours. It was 5 years doing that. Um,
so horse logging? I'm imagining that you're in the mountains with some. What are they? Clydesdales? Was that what they?
well, I won't geek out too much on that and get too sidetracked. We were working with Belgian Suffolk Cross, which Belgian is usually the like really large, like in the same class as Clydesdale. Their
Yeah.
Suffolk Punch, they were a much shorter breed, so you combine the Belgian and the Suffolk, and you get a shorter but really stocky horse. And being shorter actually makes them a little bit gives them a little bit of advantage being low to the ground, breaking the friction when they're skidding logs.
Yeah.
They were an ideal cross. They're really fun to work with. And the guy that I worked with, he was such a phenomenal horseman that I could be cutting a sapling a foot away from a horse and they just didn't even bat an eye.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
so not skittish at all.
No, if you go to the horse pools, you see a very different animal usually because those guys abuse those horses basically to get them to win the horse pulls. So they're using electricity, and those horses are scared to death when they're being backed up, and you'll see them jerking on the reins. When we went to horse pulls, we kind of showed off. We would use voice commands to drop the hook on the sled. Uh, then we'd wait and let the horses just stand there for a second. So we'd show these guys that we trained our horses right, and then he'd voice command them forward. Um, yeah,
Uh,
it was neat, man. It had its own things like and I talked to a friend of mine who also came out of logging and into arboriculture. And one thing we wish that most arborists could replicate our experience in the woods, because being able to just work with trees without houses and targets like that to worry about, being able to really see what wood can do in the different species that we work with, um, it has done a lot for me.
on the like the felling side and stuff.
Even in the tree,
Yeah.
one of my favorite little things I like to tell people about is, a logger. If you need more hinge, you cut closer into the root flare because that's where all the fibers kind of change direction and whatnot. You get more strength, more hold in that fiber of the root collar. Well, if I'm removing a tree and I need more hinge out of a branch, I'll cut down into the branch collar because
Hmm.
it's the same thing. So you get more hinge out of a branch collar.
Yeah, I tend to do that a lot with a lot of pines and stuff like that. A lot of pines when I'm doing like speed lines, and I kind of want to bring them into. I think it was a August Hunnicky. I watched a video and he was doing that, like yeah, cutting into the branch collar, um, and doing a speed line. It was kind of nice. You get more of a little less dynamics in there, a little less shock, make it more of a static load going in,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that I've seen that. So that's cool. Yeah, I never really thought about it on a actually like putting a notch at the base of the tree, like going lower. Um,
Yeah, man. Oh, dude,
advantage of
try it.
that.
Next time you're felling a tree, you want a little bit more swing action, try it. Get in that root collar, see what happens. It's fun.
Yeah, yeah. So you started Virginia. What got you down to North Carolina?
We bounced a couple times, man. I mean, honestly, our families, my career situation looks a little bit like a ping pong match.
Hey, man, me too. It's all right.
So we came down to North Carolina the first time. I was in Taylorsville, and I just took a job with some guy who advertised on Tree Buzz. Yeah, not everybody on Tree Buzz is the person you want to be hanging out with. Most of them are, but you definitely got to screen a few of them. And this was definitely one of those that should have been screened. So once I realized I'd made a mistake there, I I knew about Heartwood. They were a good company, had a great reputation. So I jumped down there, and I was still living in Taylorsville, so I'm driving 77 miles each way every day. And but I get down there, and at the time Cormac Nagan's the training officer, and I'm like, oh, what? No way. So I got to spend 6 months just like, you know, listening to him, getting to get his feedback on my climbing. Um, and he just, he really pushed me to embrace doubled rope because I'd done what a lot of guys do. Oh, SRT, it's the thing. Cool. Let's just do that. And he really got me to embrace doubled rope, really learn it and incorporate the whole spectrum into my climbing. And
Yeah,
that was transformational. And then he also, he had this thing about simplify, just like always about just simplify, like boil everything down to the most basic that you possibly can. And that's really how you win. And it's proven true. Like, I mean, it's always stuck with me since then. And I try to do it the best I can. It's always, always had the tendency to maybe overcomplicate the scenario, and so that
yeah.
helped me out.
That's that's awesome to hear that from Cormac too. That's something I kind of stress on a lot of folks is embracing the double rope or moving rope systems. It's insane that I'll work with some folks now, and yeah, they know a good bit with single rope, but they don't know anything on like moving rope and the advantages you can have from that coming back from limb walks and stuff like that. It's just kind of blows my mind. And then if you get in a situation, this is a thing that the treeist I kind of pushed. I went up there to do aerial rescue with them, and nobody up there really knew moving rope that much. They're all great with stationary rope. And I was kind of pushing them. I was like, you need to know these systems. I was like, if you get in a rescue situation, you need to know how to manipulate the victim system because they might be climbing on the same devices as you, a single rope device, or yeah, if you're on moving rope, that it's like it might be on that. You need to know what this entails.
For
But
sure, man.
I think there's a healthy respect too.
One of the biggest things I gained from climbing almost exclusively double rope for a season, and that was another thing he shared with me. I'll get into in a second, but one of the biggest things I learned was, just how to work the tree differently. I feel like most guys who work almost exclusively SRT, SRS, they tend to work the tree up and down. And while that's cool, sometimes I feel like you lose a lot of efficiency. Like with double rope, a lot of times you work the whole spread, and I feel like it's a lot more organic in how you like. You really let the growth of the tree dictate how you approach it.
Hmm.
Um, and I feel like that's what I really gained. So even in my SRS climbing, I've learned to really like, work the whole tree rather than cutting it up in segments and just going up and down.
Yeah.
Um, and Yeah, so like, but and like I said, I worked doubled rope almost exclusively there for a while, and that was another thing I learned from Cormac that I think is an amazing practice. It was something he practiced himself, and he didn't really push it on anybody. But I don't know, when you got somebody at his level, you kind of pay attention to the way he does things. So he'd talk about giving something 3 months, trying it, or if it's a new tool, give it 3 weeks to get to know it first. Like don't have any opinion until 3 weeks, and then if you really want to try a technique or you really want to master it, like give it 3 months. And he said, no, don't just try to figure out when to apply it. He was like, he'd pick a technique and he would apply it every time for 3 months, even if he knew that this was not the best technique. It would also give him a good understanding as to why.
That's pretty good advice there. I'm quick to judge on a piece of equipment. I'm really quick to judge. I'll give it a day, and I'm like, I don't know about this. I don't know how this is going to fit in. And it's like if I would give it some more time and understand it better, probably be all right. It'd probably be a good thing.
For sure, man. I mean, what I've learned is, sometimes I can get a decent feel whether or not I want to like something, but
Yeah.
then I'm also there's sometimes where like I can tell day one, day two, I'm like, this is all just because this doesn't fit my muscle memory. So like if I give
Mm,
myself time to adjust, I wonder if I like it better. Like everybody like poo poos on the Petzl ball lock carabiners because most of us use the old ones, hated them, threw them out. But most people haven't tried the new ones, the updated ones, and Petzl's really knocked that one out of the park, man. I can't tell you the last time I've had to replace one of those, of the newer ones. And Cormac, again, that was a Cormac thing. Like he had one on the end of his lanyard. He's like, you should check it out. And yeah, so I gave it 3 weeks, right? Because I was used to the ISC triple locking snap, and tried that ball out for 3 weeks, and that's what I use, man. Um, it took 3 weeks to get used to it, but after that, I didn't think about it. And ever since, that's what I've used, and I'd really recommend it to a lot of people.
yeah.
Because we all know the issues with the snaps and how they can jam. And the ball lock, a lot of people are like, "Oh, just use any other type of auto locking carabiner." I was like, "Oh yeah, but this one you don't have to go up or down. You don't have to think about it. All you have to do is push the ball and twist, and you're set." And anyway, but yeah, so I gave that one a 3 week run and got sold on it. Um, It's also how I bought the zigzag because I ran into Cormac a couple years later at a trade show, and he was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "I decided to finally give the zigzag a go just so I could finally say that I hated it and talk about all the reasons what all that was wrong with it." He said, "So I tried it for 90 days and I bought a second one."
Oh, yeah. I man, I'm loving I've only got to use it once, and this isn't a good it wasn't a good one to really try it on. I was pruning a Bradford pear this week, and I was like, "Hey, I got this zigzag. I'm gonna throw that on there because I was gonna use a moving rope system just to get to the top of the tree, self advance in this Bradford real quick." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll try this out," and I loved it. And then I wanted to go do a dead pine Friday, and I wanted to use it again, but I was like, I know that I'm gonna want to switch over to SRT once I got to blocking the wood down. So I was like, I'll just self advance up and then use my runner. But thing's so smooth, man. It's slick.
So have you tried that Sam Scam spar anchor?
I have not now.
All right, look it up. It's the oh man, what's the climber technical or climbing technical guy on Instagram? I can never remember that handle. Um, but he shows it quite a few times on there, and I've gone to using it so I don't have to carry my chicane with me if I want to use my zigzag, but I want to simplify the anchor on the spar, or whatever, so I don't have to slap the chicane or something else on it, or switch devices, and it allows me to still run it like a doubled rope um system, but it's a cinch, it's a cinched anchor to the spar with just the rope, and it works really well. I mean, there are definitely some nuances to learn with it, but um, it's effective, and it allows you to
Yeah.
use the zigzag in almost an SRS fashion.
I'll have to try that out. That's why I love the runner so much. It's so quick to kind of slap over and change. I'll self advance up in a moving rope, especially on a pine. I'll just self advance up, and I got to go up there and hang all my rigging anyways. and just slap a running bowline on the tree and then come back down and start my work. It's like, oh, it's easy, it's
For
quick.
sure.
And
So yeah,
again,
how
like
often? Go ahead.
contracting, people have just got their they want me to move quick. They never want me to try something new. They're like, oh no, there's no time for that here.
Right, for sure.
Even though most of them I don't think would care. I see it that way. I'm like, they're paying, a premium price, so I'm going to give them a premium job. I'm going to bust it out.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I've run into some companies that thankfully they give me some leeway with that. I'm like, hey, we're gonna try this new thing today. You guys up for it? Like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, cool.
Oh yeah, there's a dude I was contracting for a bit. He had an injury and needed some help, so I came in and helped him out for a couple months, and it was awesome. And I was trying all types of new stuff. I got into some big wood, and I kind of stepped into double whipping then because I got into big wood. The largest rope I had was like a 9/16, and I was like 48-inch red oak or something. I'm like, I can't lower this down on a 9/16 rope. I can't negative rig on it. So I started getting into double whipping there, and he was all down for it. It was funny. I was surprised. I was like, yeah, this wood's a little too big. Like, I don't know how I feel about this. So, and
Dude, that's awesome.
we thought it was going to take forever. It was my first time like double whipping like big wood. I've tried it on smaller stuff, but it's kind of a quick process. I thought it was going to be time consuming, but I was like, oh, this is nothing.
What slings are you using when you do double block?
So I really love those ISC blocks. The one with the spring pin.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll use that on the spar, and then I've got it's a double-eyed ring on a sling with a dead eye, and I'll just throw a running bowl in, and then hopefully get it tightened enough, to where that eye is tied up in there. So that's what I'll use for double whipping is the double eye ring sling on the wood, and then the ISC block on the spar itself.
Nice.
Yeah, um, it's pretty good. Yeah, I like it. That's I really like using blocks. I think when I'm doing spar work, and then when I get to redirects and yeah, like I said, doing the double whipping and stuff, I really like the rings for that. Maybe just because adding a little bit more friction into it as well.
Yeah,
Adding more rope, adding more friction. It's all good things.
for sure, man. Yeah, I keep going back and forth whether I prefer an ultra sling versus a dead eye sling in the double block rigging. I don't know. I keep going back and forth.
I'm weird. Like I was never big into the ultra slings and stuff like that. My first company, they all love their dead eyes, and I've worked with folks with the ultra slings, and I really don't like the whoopee slings. Um, Honestly, I was kind of thinking about it this week, and I was like, "This whoopee slings are probably pretty tough, I imagine, because there's no knots in the system." I don't know. I'd have to ask David. I'd have to ask David Ricks about that. But it just seems chintzy to me, and I really don't like it. And the ultra slings are. I've got a couple setups with the ultra slings that I like. I just get kind of tired of if you're rigging down wood on an ultra sling, you need to bring the rope up, and then you need to take it out and stow it on your saddle, and then take the block off, stow it on your saddle, and then drop down and then reset up the whole thing. If you got a dead eye, I mean, you can kind of use it like with your lanyard and slap that thing down, and you don't got to take the rope out of the block. So I don't know. It feels I say it's time consuming, but it's honestly probably not. But it bothers me. It's like, oh, if I need to do all that, then I can run a block and I don't have to do all that.
Heard, man. Yeah, and everybody's got their preference on that. Like if I'm doing just a standard negative rig, moving stuff down, what I did on my 9/16 rigging line, which was like my go-to line, I actually made a hard loop at the end of my rope, with just some plastic tubing that I heated up and had it turned into a tight horseshoe, threaded some throw line through it. And then I sewed the throw line down into the center of the rigging line.
Yeah.
Um, And so I had a hard loop that I could always clip to my saddle. And so what I'd do is I'd run it up and just clip that right into my, usually I use like the Camp Kilos or whatever you use for your Caratal. Just boom, you just run that out, clip it in, slide the block off, clip the one of the Ultra Sling loops into your saddle, bail down, set it back up.
Oh, okay.
But again, like that's what I had. That's how I set it up. And I highly recommend if you got a rigging ropes that you use on the regular, man, or even just all of them. If you have a rainy day and you're looking for something to do, put some loops in the end of your rigging lines to just clip onto your saddle. They don't get in the way when you're tying knots. And you make them the same diameter or smaller than the actual rope. They'll
Yeah.
thread through. And yeah, man, I love it because boom, just clip that to the saddle and done.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet, man. Look at you. That's I like that. Because I change a lot of ropes too. It's funny. Like I'll start with my half inches, and then once I get to blocking bigger things down, I'll switch over to like the 9/16. I don't know. I just really love half inches. I don't know. It's light, easy, but
Oh, that's
it,
super cool. I mean, I love hearing it. I love hearing it, especially when there's differences, right? That's cool because I'm actually that was how I was trained in tree work. That's how I always did it.
doing the old switch.
Yeah, but once I got into my own rhythm, like I look at a tree and I'm thinking if I can do the whole rope, a whole tree with a 9/16 rope and don't have to go bigger, like, or if I know I'm eventually going to need a 9/16 rope, like for me, the difference between that and a half inch isn't that much. So as far as like me carrying it around and using it all day, now, like I
Yeah,
know some guys will start out with a 5/8 rope. I'm like, no way, man. Like I'll start with my 9/16 unless I'm going huge from the get go. But nah, start out 9/16 usually for me, and if I can work the whole tree with it, great. If I have to move up to a 5/8, okay, whatever. Um, yeah,
yeah,
it's funny. It's always cool to hear somebody have just different techniques.
yeah. I mean, that's the way I was trained, and then I like it. I just feel like there's things that I look for whenever I'm removing a tree or something that like clicks to me. So I love the ISC blocks. I love them. I've got two of those little green minis, and then the 5/8 red one, and it's great. It's like I'll go a lot of removals. I start with. I've got my half inch and that green mini,
Hmm.
and then as soon as I get it topped and I'm getting ready to start blocking some wood down, I'm like, all right, it's time to switch. I need the red ISC block. My 9/16 rope's already through there, and go ahead and send up my mid range saw with it as well. So it's kind of like clicks of what I need to do and what I should be switching to.
Nice.
Um, yeah, it just keeps me in check.
Oh, how so?
Just making sure to hey, if I'm switching to a larger saw, I should probably just go ahead and switch to a bigger rope. I should go ahead and get a bigger block. I need to redo all of my rigging. I need to get it all situated now, and let's just make it happen. Um,
Nice.
it's just I don't know. It's just like a good healthy reminder. I've seen people push half inch ropes. I've seen people push blocks, and I'm like watching it, and I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing right now? Go ahead and switch. Like these are reminders. These are things that I'm watching you do that are like reminders to me. Because contracting, no one ever really tells me what to do anymore, and it's all on me. So these are again like good, healthy reminders to
For
keep
sure.
good habits.
That's probably what pushed me to go like always to 9/16, just because I
It's
knew
already
I. Oh
there.
yeah, because like, and for me, like cuts are going to vary. Like, yeah, there's going to be like I'm going to be doing some lighter brush, then I might have to take out a bigger chunk of wood before I go back to more brush. And for me, I just like I know myself well enough. I'm not going to want to stop, take time to switch over, so I might as well just start a little bit bigger.
Yeah, and
And
again, that's where I might be an idiot there.
no, I mean, well, but you've got a good rhythm and the discipline. Like for me, I'm just like I know myself. I'm going to push it if it's there. So let me just go ahead and start with some bandwidth.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man. So like, I mean, right now, like I feel like I'm pushing it a little bit. And with my pulley, like I bought the new DMM, the XS block,
Oh, nice.
the
Yeah.
extra small. I got it, you know, it was on sale or whatever, and or yeah, I used a discount and got it, and
Well, you're the
uh,
gear guy as well. You need to be
well,
using some good gear.
right.
The new
Well,
shiny, flashy stuff.
yeah, and you know, I mean, all that one, I like. What really sold me when I saw it come out, I mean, for one, like the price is a little absurd. I will say that. Sorry, DMM, but
It's up
it's a
there.
little, yeah, like for the size of it and like the braking strength, I'm kind of like, yeah, that's a little much. However, the
Is this the
reason,
one with the hollow spot that you can run a rope through?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the new small one that has like a 10 millimeter, I think, spindle hole. Um, but the one thing that sold me on it was, you know, when I started tree work, my boss bought what is called the small, but it's their mid range one now, the gray block with the green sheave on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he bought one of those when I started with them. And then I went back and helped manage the company for a year. And when I was there, we bought a new one. And if you put them side by side, you could tell which one was which. But when you ran them side by side, you couldn't.
Oh
And
man. Yeah.
for for me, I'm like, okay, dude, you know, a 10-year block, yeah, man. Um,
I love DMN products. I don't know. I think my first art fest I went to, who was there? Mark Bridge. Mark Bridge was out there, and he, I don't know, he's such a cool dude. Kind of reminds me of a James Bond character, and and I love the way their products look too. So you know, he did a lot of talking as far as like tree motion, and then pinto pulleys and hitch climbers and stuff like that. And I think I made the switch then. I was using a lot of Rock Exotica stuff, and I switched over to as far as carabiners and hardware. And then I switched over to like DMM, and man, I love them. I love them. But you can't sell me that block though. I don't think you can sell me that block. I look at that price and I'm like, dude, I could buy two of the ISC blocks for that.
oh, I know, and it does. It's not a spring lock, so like there's definitely some hangups. But I'll tell you what, it receives a 5/8 rope, and I've probably abused that block already. But like I'm kind of doing it on purpose. I want to see what the stupid thing will take, man. And
Yeah,
like, yeah, I'm not trying to be risky. I've got it on a 5/8 sling.
that's being those green mini blocks from ISC, man. I've seen those pushed. My first company I was with, Sox and Freeman, my homie Derek and I, we if we were in a good zone, we kind of pushed that block to see what it would take. And I'm like, dude, I love it. I love it. I got to have two of them now. And even now, contracting, sometimes I'll set up like little rigging trolleys and speed lines and stuff, and I'll use that block on the span line tied to the piece of wood on a sling. And I'm like so impressed by it. But then a lot of times it's kind of a static load. There's not too many dynamic forces going in there.
Nice. Yeah, I've been I've been dropping some logs into the DMM lately. Oh, I mean pine, not oak or anything, but I've been definitely dropping some pine logs into it, and it's been interesting. It's done very very well, and I've not observed any changes in its performance, so I'm
Yeah.
impressed. But and you know, again, like I want to see how long it lasts me. That'll determine whether or not. I mean, granted, I hope I never have to buy another one, and then it was money well spent. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like, and they're really nice too. I see videos of people setting them up in trolley configurations and then using that hollow eye as like a redirect and stuff. And I'm like, man, that's sweet.
yeah,
That's a really versatile tool right there. You can get some things done.
yeah, I'd love to get my hands on some of that crystalline that um oh man, why is his name escaping me right now? Drew Bristow. He shows a lot on his Instagram. He's using the Yale crystalline, 10 millimeter
Yeah.
line to be that like redirect line for that thing. It's like, man, I gotta get my hands on some of that or something comparable just to um love to have a good static line that I could use to suspend that block. Like, dude, you set that thing up in the middle of a yard. It's just, yeah,
Yeah, if you're hanging a remote block somewhere, man, that'd make it so quick and easy. So
dude,
quick
yeah.
and easy.
You
But
get me talking about gear all day.
oh, dude, yeah, I love it. That was yeah, I love gear so much. I buy it when I don't even need it.
Well, you saw. Oh yeah, wait. You were at the last Trios. We were at that one together. That's right. That's right. So you got to see the Tree Austria Pro that I was wearing.
I did, yeah. That thing was sweet, man. Super light. Really
Man, I have
light.
been impressed with that. I just slapped some Courant suspenders on there this past week, and so nice. Because the saddle was great, but I was carrying a 462 and 200 feet of rope in a bag on that thing doing crane work, and so it was sliding. Yeah. Well, the cool part was I say it was sliding down my butt. It was only sliding down my butt when I was walking around on the ground. As soon as I like got on the hook and was like running around the tree, it stayed up pretty well, which was impressive. Like my tree motions never stay on my butt, man. They just don't.
Yeah, my tree motion doesn't either. I love like I find myself especially like especially these hot days you're sweating and stuff. I'm like, man, I'm losing some water weight right now. And by the end of the day, if I'm in the tree all day with my tree motion, I'm like having to adjust it in the canopy. I gotta like tighten it up on my waist. And it's normally little adjustments. It's like I gotta move it over like half an inch or something. But I need to get better suspenders too. I think that's a big thing.
Well, I've only used them for one day, so I'm not going to say jump out there and buy the Quran. Except, yeah, I've seen a lot of guys rocking them, a lot of guys that I respect,
Yeah.
and just my first experience with them, they were made to last. I tried the camp ones, and I was happy with them at first. But I tell you what, like as a general rule of thumb with equipment, if it's easy to adjust, that means it's easy to come out of adjustment. If
Mhm.
it's hard to adjust, usually people have a complaint about that, but it also means it's not going to come out of adjustment as easy as well. That goes for helmets. Looking at UCASC, easy to adjust, always comes out of adjustment. I love my Protos. It's set it, forget it. And I found the same to be true with suspenders. My camp suspenders, they were cool, but I also found like they take so long to fiddle with. I hate somebody beating me to a tree, especially when I'm the contract climber. And it was taking me so long to fiddle with that stuff. I'm like, man, this is not cool. And then they broke because it's all these plastic buckles on the camp suspenders, and one of the buckles broke. And I was like, well, that's worthless.
Yeah.
Um, the new Courant ones I've got, they're difficult to adjust initially, but they're so like the camp ones, dude. As I move around the tree, I could feel some of those buckles like giving webbing slack. And I'm like, dude, that's ridiculous. And so far the Courant, like that's not going to happen. Not that I can tell.
How much are those Quran suspenders running?
They're like 114, I think.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, and I think what I really like about them is the back adjustment. Most suspenders I hate because I have a shorter torso than some, so like I'm more legs than I am torso. So all these suspenders, the back is usually so long that the pads are catching me in the back of the neck and it's trying to like pull me forward, and I hate that. The Current leave enough adjustment that I actually had them adjusted a little too low in the back the other day. I got to bring them up a little higher. So that's a good problem to have for me.
Are you running these on if you're doing prunes and stuff too, you're running it on a single rope chest ascent or as a chest tether as well?
Yeah, in fact, so like my removal on Friday was poison ivy about 30 feet up on both trees. So I just
Oh, yeah, lovely.
instead of spurring up, I just did a base anchor on one of them and went ahead and just threw my ascenders on with my spurs and went up past the ivy. And yeah, man, it actually worked out really well. So like they don't have a central attachment point, but neither did my camp. And I used to think that was a bad thing, but clip my rope runner pro to my right side and then my knee ascender to my left side, and it was fine, man.
Yeah.
um it worked out just fine.
I need to get a good healthy set of suspenders. So I've got the I'm cheap ass, excuse me, but I've got the Weaver, the elastics,
Yeah, man.
and they work, But man, do they dig, and it kind of chafes a little bit on those hot days. And I've been wanting to get a different set, something a little bit more comfortable, and then also it's kind of a pain to run if I know that I'm just going to be pruning. I don't, I'm just going to be using it as a chest tether. It's kind of a pain. It stretches too much. That elastic does,
Oh yeah.
and it's not cozy at that point. When I'm blocking down wood and I've got a big saw and a heavy rope and stuff, it's great. But I'd like something that I could use for all occasions. Because if I go to prune, I take the suspenders off my saddle immediately. And people are
Oh
like, "What
okay.
are you doing?" And I'm like, "It doesn't feel good. I'll just rather use the 4SRT chest harness."
So I can't speak to comfort because, like with my Cornell saddle, I just run 1 inch tubular webbing as my suspenders,
Oh,
and
really?
and that's like I'll have my 395 hanging off my belt with that,
Oh yeah, you're like
whatever.
me.
So I'm probably not the guy to talk to about comfort because the Courant is 10 times the padding that I've had with my other suspenders. But I'll say like you'll run into a small difference with between having like the elastic suspenders and non-elastic. Um, because like where your elastic suspenders sometimes when it's pulling on the front, the back of your back of your saddle's not going to ride up. But if you have the non-elastic, like the Courant or even the Monkey Beaver Camp, all these ones that don't have elastic in them, um, it can sometimes pull the back of your saddle up. So it's something to just have to, you kind of got
Yeah,
to adjust it to get it to that sweet spot where it's not riding the saddle straight up your back the whole time. But
and that's the thing I've kind of like the elastics for is like I said, when I get to where I'm blocking wood down and stuff, it's amazing. Um, it's just sometimes it'll be a pain on the shoulders, and that's also probably to the belt. Like we're kind of talking about the tree motion kind of backs off a little bit some, and I've got to readjust that waist. I think that might be playing a part in that as well.
okay, yeah. Now I'll say like not having the elastic, once you learn the sweet spot, it's not a problem. In fact, next time we're both at the tree, just check mine out for sure. If you don't get a chance to try out something else before then, man. But
Yeah, yeah. I keep looking at the monkey beavers. I've thought about buying them so many times, and then this is so dumb. The reason why I kind of backed off, they changed the colorways to it some. I like the first one they had. It was I think black and green, and
okay,
I was like, oh man, that's gonna look sweet on the tree motion. And then they've changed it now, and it's like black and gray. And I'm a dummy. I'm like, I kind of like that black and green.
well, man, I mean, if you like black and green, the Courant, like I got mine from Gap Arborist in 2 days.
Oh, nice.
Like, yeah, man. So, and it's definitely that black and green because I'm with you, man. I'm a sucker for black and green.
Yeah,
I think I mean, dude, they know we like colors. That's why they change things up. I got a
yeah,
friend
they've done so many like people come to my house and they're or come to my my shop and they'll be looking at all my gear and they're like, "Why do you have all these different rope wrenches?" And I'm like, "They're all different colors." I'm like, it matters what tether that I'm using on it. You see, all the tethers are different, and it's so dumb. It's just like, but most of them are kind of set up. The tethers are actually different lengths on things that I like to try.
nice.
So but how's so you're with Nats now? You've been with Nats before, correct?
So yeah, so I'm like, yeah, I'm an assistant trainer right now. Kind of like part time. And yeah, so like my first round with them, dude, I'd been trying to get on with them like all of 2019. I mean, trying to get on. I mean, they contacted me. I was thinking about it, and then like when I was going through and trying to get the contract done while also working, full time and this and that. Anyway, I and paperwork has not been my strength. That's why I'm a tree guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I feel you there.
it's actually the reason I never became a coach and gym teacher. Like I would have done that, except for I knew how much paperwork was involved, and so I ran away. Um, and so yeah, man. So the paperwork took so long. We finally got confirmation. I finally got contracted with them at the beginning of March of 2020. Perfect timing.
Yeah. Yeah, right, right. COVID and the madness.
Yeah. So as you can imagine, we didn't really do anything together, and they had some really cool projects that it was weird. Like every time I tried to get involved, like I would have some big family thing happen. Like Bridget got pretty sick there for a while, and so like I ended up not really getting to do anything with them. Finally, got to go out and do one event with them out west, and then we get snowed out for 3 days, and they cancel the entire project and send us all back home.
Oh, geez.
And so I was like, hey, maybe it's just bad timing. And so I actually bowed out for a while. I was just like, I'm just gonna focus on what's in front of me and figure out what comes next. And yeah, man. So at Arborfest this year, they were working me pretty hard, and because it still wasn't on my radar yet. I still was like, I got all this other stuff in front of me. I was trying to pursue some other things. But then, um, let's jump in. Yeah, this will be a good thing to jump into, man. So I had
Yeah.
what I would call an incidental mentor, really steer me back towards them. And what I mean by that is, for one, mentors have been a big part of my life for a long time and have been very crucial in all steps of my growth as a person, and as a husband, as a father, as an employee, as self-employed. Like I've had mentors along the way, and quite frankly, if somebody doesn't have mentors, it's you're going to miss out, and you're going to have to learn the hard way more often. Um, Mentors are just crucial. Not to mention, if you're looking to advance yourself, I remember sitting down at a round table when we were doing we're as literally a round table eating dinner at Train the Trainer in 2018 when I was first trying to get on the radar of Nats, and we had a discussion, a bunch of us, about how when we hired people, one of the biggest things we were going to start looking for, we were trying to incorporate this into our hiring process of finding out whether or not people had mentors in their life. And we didn't have to know who they were. We just want to know, are you being taught by somebody? Are you actively learning from another person?
Yeah.
Um, and receiving guidance, because like, dude, that can cut out most of the hiring process. Problem is, it also thins out a whole lot of people that you think about hiring. That's not necessarily a problem because it costs a whole lot more to fire people than you think. Um, but anyway, so I when I came back down to North Carolina, we kind of got off track of that. So I went to North
Yeah.
Carolina, went back to Virginia, came back to North Carolina. I was working with Davey for about a year, and the manager and I, we got pretty close. We had a good mutual respect for each other, and he was really starting to just see some things, and he would just tell me, he's like, Daryl, I know you're going this direction, but that's not really that's not where your heart is. That's not where your strengths are. And that's going to take a lot of time and money and effort away from your family. He's like, you need to refocus on like training, because he's like, you love pouring into people. You like helping people grow and excel. He's like, you're wasting your time on, and the gear truck about,
Yeah.
I was trying to start this gear sales business. He's like, man, you're wasting your time. Like, this is not ultimately what's going to fulfill you and take you the direction you need to go. And, that was, it's hard to hear, right? Like, I'm invested in this thing. I'm trying to make it happen, and, putting time and effort and money into it, trying to make
Yeah.
it
And
happen.
personally, man, I loved the gear truck idea. That was, I think that's a dream of everybody. Like I used to talk about that. I'm like, man, it'd be cool to and I mean, you contract climbing, I thought that was perfect. But I've always thought, like, I was like, man, it'd be cool to have this gear in my shop that, if I'm out contracting and somebody needs something, I can be like, hey, dude, I've got it. Let's go handle this. And you've got competitive pricing too. I mean, well, you had competitive pricing and I liked it. I mean,
Well, I mean, it was cool. If I get a chance to do it again, I have a better strategy for approaching it that I think will meet needs more for everybody. Um, yeah, part of the problem I ran into with that whole thing was just arborists in general are poor planners, or okay, tree guys. I won't say arborists. Tree guys in general are poor
Yeah.
planners, and they want you to cater to their emergency, and they really do not think about what it costs you. And so they want you to drive that gear over there tonight so they can take a look at it just to tell you, hey, yeah, I'll come buy something Friday when I get some money in. And I'm
No,
like,
and that's retarded. I mean, kind of like how I came and picked the saddle up from you. It was just like work with you. Don't be a dick. Like,
and, but I mean, but they don't, I mean, it's just not, they're not thinking about it. But, and all said, like, I've learned a better strategy. I may get back into it. And
I
I think
like
it'll
how you
work.
did it at the Trius this last time. I mean, when I saw you not roll up with that with the van, I was so disappointed. And then you come and drop this duffel bag in front of us, and you're like, "Oh, I've got this, this, and that." I was like, "Yes, yes," because I was literally talking to Ben the night before. I was like, "Yeah, if Daryl's coming out, if he's got a zigzag, I'm going to buy it off of him."
Gotcha. That's some remnant stuff. Yeah, just some remnants. But if I do dive back headlong into it, I think I've got a plan that I think will make everybody happy. And we'll, but in the meantime, like I really like Scott, my friend at Davy. He hit me between the eyes with this advice, right? At first, I'm like, man, like I hear you. And he's like, listen, man, you can't do everything. You got to focus somewhere. And like, you are not focusing on where your skills are. And I'm like, dang, that's hard to hear. But then, it stuck
Yeah,
with me. Then I get to Arborfest and my friends at Nats are like pursuing me. Then I find out Rebecca has been promoted to the lead of training, director of training. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And it told me two things right off the bat. It was the training program is going to be an awesome thing to be a part of under her leadership, just because her as a person, she's amazing to be around. And I have the utmost respect for her. And two, I that means good things in the leadership of the organization to recognize who she is and what she brings to the table to put her into that position. Told me that, okay, you know, I've not gotten to talk to the leadership in a while, but if they're making those decisions, heck yeah, man, like they got something good going on right now. And so, with all that combination of things, I was like, yeah, let's try it again. And so, yeah, jumped in and immediately got to um, do a Vermeer event in Roanoke, Virginia, and that was wild, man. Because for one, it was a solo event. I didn't realize that.
yeah.
When I volunteered, so it's like, oh, cool, I get to do this all by myself. And there's nothing like talking for 8 hours in front of a group of. I think they said there was like it was over 60 people. I think at the end they said had signed up
Oh,
or
holy
whatever.
shit! So was this a multi-day event? So 60 people in total, or 60 people
One
at
day,
one day? Oh, cow! Yeah, that's
one
wild.
day from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Oh,
And oh, dude, and that was an experience. Like, there's a long story from that day that it was wild, man.
yeah. I heard about the. Oh, you mentioned it. There was a drive-by down the road, or
Yeah, somebody emptied a few magazines down the road, and we're
oh,
like, "What's going on?" Because see, we're in a park, and the adjoining property is an elementary school, and we're like, "Oh crap, what is going down?"
yeah.
Um,
Especially nowadays, you hear elementary school and gunfire magazines being unloaded. This is
yeah, yeah, yeah. So a couple guys they kind of meandered over the hill, just make sure everything was chill, whatnot. And I figured like, man, if we got something going down the school, like, there'll be some clues, and as soon as there's clues, we're done for the day because we're going over there putting a stop to this.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, but no, even before that, like I ended up just not sleeping that entire night before. I got like 2 hours of sleep that night, and I had to get up early the next day to get some things set up. So like I wake up at 4:30. And I was like, well, I'll take a shower first thing. That'll help. Well, for whatever reason, the hot water wasn't working in the hotel. So it was a cold shower at 4:30 in the morning after 2 hours of sleep. go to Hardee's to pick up some biscuits because they're the only ones open to this early. And at this time, it was like 5:30. And they're like, yeah, our cook doesn't get here till 6:30.
Are they and they're open?
Yeah, they're open.
Oh, geez.
I'm like,
So
okay.
we got coffee and Coca-Cola.
I don't even think they started the coffee yet, man. I didn't even ask. I'm just like, all right, whatever. Let's hit the road. And yeah, man. So anyway, it all kind of built up. And but it ended up being a really cool event. Met some awesome guys, the Farrow brothers, man. Met those guys.
Yeah, I've been following them. They seem like a good group of dudes, and they're going to be coming on the podcast. I want to say next Sunday.
Heck yeah,
So those
dude.
guys too were excited. They were trying to get on tonight, and I told them I was like, "Hey, I'm getting Daryl Stanley on, and I'm going to be a little busy." And they were just like, "Nope, that's fine." They were like, "Bring it on, dude."
Dude,
So
I was talking to Ryan on Friday, and he was like, "Yeah, I heard you gonna be on the podcast." I was like, "Man, what's going on around here?" Yeah, I was talking to him Friday. Man, those guys are awesome. I can't wait to get up there and check out their operation. And they
they're
were,
you're on the move, man. Those boys are busy. Work,
dude,
work, work.
they made that training day that I did. Like, they kind of tucked up into one corner, real close to me, and honestly, like, they really helped carry me through that one. Just their attitudes were amazing, and then just getting to know them after that. I mean, just who they are, man. They're super
Yeah,
encouraging, super thoughtful guys who are really, yeah, they really busted.
I haven't talked to him at all personally yet, but I love guys and I mean gals too that I see something on their Instagram that intrigues me, and then I can reach out and just kind of like private message them, hop up in them DMs, and the response that I get, it I always love it, and people are just so giving, like last weekend I was talking about the looking at GoPros and Trevor and Trees. I thought it was funny. I hit him up and the best dude, the best advice as far as what to buy, what to look for, where to look for it, where to buy it from. And that's not somebody that I would normally go to, but I was really impressed by that, his response and how much output he had. He was like, "Could I call you instead of messaging right now?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude. Like, here's my number." And that's what I kind of see the Farrow brothers. I think I've talked with man, I can't remember which one. A couple of them I've talked to now, and yeah, but that's great to hear.
So, are you? Have they invited you yet to the Arborist Camp project?
They did. I think I'm going to join in on that.
Yes. Thank you. Please do.
Yeah, they did.
um, we're gonna have a good group, man. We'll have a good group.
Yeah, and I need more of stuff like that. That's what last weekend going out to the Trius was a little bit of a. I'm going through kind of a struggle right now, transitioning of where I want to be, what I want to do. Man, I need to get it worked out. But going to events like that, man, they just pump me up. They blow me up. I have so much fun. That's what I told Lindsay, my wife. I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to the Trius this weekend," and she was like, "Oh, when you leaving?" I was like, "Friday night. I'll be back Saturday night." And she was like, "Yeah, you need that." So she knows too. I was like, these events, these little ones, and then the competitions, the expos. If I'm struggling, I need to go because it just pumps you up, man. You just
Dude,
come back with such good vibes.
man, and there's something right there that you've got that I have too that I feel like needs to be talked about more, and that is the right partner, man. I've got that same wife, not Lindsay, but
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
I
You
remember
do
I,
it.
I stood I yeah I stepped out of the industry a little bit, trying my hand at something else for a little while, and I was having a real hard time just focusing this and that. And Bridget looked at me one day. She's like, "Listen, I got the house. I'll hold down the fort. You go climb some trees this evening. You just need to go out there and go climb some trees and get your head right."
Yeah,
And she's always like that, like the treeist. She's like, "Listen." In fact, what's funny is I'm going to miss this coming weekend because my cousin's getting married up in West Virginia, and I was actually trying to figure out, like, I think I could do both in one day if I timed it right.
Oh man, that's tough.
But I was like, man, like, really, if I'm going to be gone for some time, I need to give my family some of that time. So I'm probably going to have to cut out the trees. It's breaking my heart. And Bridget looked at me. She's like, I understand why you're making that decision. I wish you would make the opposite decision. I'd rather you go to Trieste and skip the wedding.
Wait, man, you need that stuff. It's when I'm feeling down and I'm struggling, I feel like these competitions, the expos, and then what the Trius is doing is brilliant because it just re-energizes you, it refocuses you, and for me, contracting, I'm never around the best group of guys, and it's it's awesome just to be surrounded. There's so much love there. There's so many guys that are pumped. You, Ben and Craig and David, and I mean their entire crew is just amazing. And then the people that they attract to those events are just as awesome as well.
Agreed, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they keep me on my toes.
and
That's
this
what I
past
love.
one was a blast. David was just like, "Man, this is like the best thing ever," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a little overwhelmed. There's so many people." Like,
Oh, I'm trying to get more, man. I'm like bugging everybody. I'm trying to get like my dream. I would love to have 12 people rolling from the Triad out to the Trieste. Like,
dude,
I'm trying to make it happen.
I'm trying hard here too. I'm a guy that I kind of act on impulse at times, and I'm glad that Lynn's backs me on it. I'm just like, I'm doing that this weekend. I'm doing that next weekend. And she won't stop me. And she's just like, I love it. But, and I'll try that with people too. I'll hit them up and I'm like, hey, I'm going to the Trius this Friday night. I'm going to camp out and I'm going to climb Saturday morning and it's going to be a blast. You should come. And they're like, hey, dude, that's just a couple days away. I'm like, yeah, I'm aware. You want to go? And they're like, no, I can't do that. I'm like, I wish you could. You should. You should
Man,
definitely do it.
like I get that from people just an hour away, and you're like, man, it's just such a long trip. I'm like, okay, listen. And you're like, I'm talking to people who, some of them are single, no responsibilities,
Yeah.
and some of them aren't single. Some of them are married and have
I
kids
can
and stuff. I'm
understand
like,
that.
dude, I have 6 kids. I've got a wife who was like super sick for a long time, and she's definitely like a lot better. I mean, she, I don't feel guilty leaving her with the kids for a few hours on a Saturday. Um, okay, that's a lie. It always ends up being more than a few, but whatever. She's good for it. She supports me, and like like dude, yeah, I got a wife and 6 kids, and you gonna tell me you can't wake up at 7 a.m. and drive an hour to better yourself and to hang out around people who are going to encourage you to be your best and to help show you and help unlock your best in you? Like, man, like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. You can't do that, then you're only going to get so far. And
Yeah.
this is a soapbox of mine, so don't get me
I'm
started.
I'm 4 hours out, and it's funny. Like Saturday morning, a couple of the guys at the Trius were just like, "Oh man, are you staying for the week?" I was like, "No, I drove up last night. I just came here for this." And they're like, "You drove 4 hours for this?" I'm like, yeah, like I love it. I was like, but I did go out with Ben last night until about 1 in the morning. But so I've got that going for me.
Dude.
But yeah, what they're doing there is just amazing. That's kind of those boys. They were sneaky. They hired me on as kind of an employee, and I really want to. I don't know. I really want to move out there.
Dude, I
They,
wish what they're doing wasn't as unique as it is. Like, it's
yeah,
amazing. I just wish it wasn't so unique. Um, and if people would actually, but I mean, I think this is kind of human nature, and I think our percentages fall in line with just about any other area, any other sector. Like, what they're doing is so rare, and the people willing to go be participate in it, is a certain percentage. And then there's everybody else, and sadly, that tends to be like most sectors. I really wish it wasn't so rare.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. And what they're doing is so gracious to you. I mean, they give up so much time. I don't think any of them are getting paid for it. They're putting money into it, and the gifts that I mean, that was like $400 worth of gear that they gave away.
Oh, right. I know, man.
Yeah.
um, dude, yeah, that was awesome. What really meant something to me this last round was Matt, who won first place. We had just been talking about knee ascenders that week because I'd contracted with the company he's with, and he
Oh,
was like,
perfect.
"Yeah, he was looking into knee ascenders, and then he gets first place. He gets a choice between like cash and Osaka, and I'm like, don't be an idiot."
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. There, I've heard David. I think he re-emphasized $50 like a couple times, and then I'm like, that's a Neosender right there. That's easily double that, and that is the best Neosender on the market right now. So you need to hop on that. I
Yeah,
want to grab it right now.
right. Oh man, I was so stoked for him because like oh, that was the epitome of what this whole thing's about. Because Matt is he's not a new climber, but he's definitely he's early into his climbing, learning, um, but he's out there and he wins this challenge, and then he gets
And
the
that wasn't an easy challenge either. Like
no man,
I made it seem stupid easy,
right
and
man,
you came in and you made it seem stupid easy, but it was actually pretty. That was pretty difficult. Like,
yeah, I mean, dude, yeah, the I mean, they're yeah, I mean, it takes the years of the coordination of using those tools every day and timing.
and we didn't even. I mean, and then that was a tool because I tried to bring up to David. I was like, we should allow them to switch out their devices, and David's like, no, I think I'm going to make him run it all on the hitchhiker. And I was like, okay. And he was like, well, let's see if you figure it out. And I was like, well, I started my single rope career on a hitchhiker, so this won't be that bad for me. But I was like, I think for other guys, this might be pretty tough. They might want a runner, they might want their akimbo, or But that and it was tough too. Like, man, David woke me up pretty funny. I went out with Ben till about 1 in the morning. Got back, and then David was in the shop at the Triest. I was sleeping in their office, and he was like kicking the cot at 6:30, um, ready to jump in the cot with me. And I probably would have let him, but and he was like, "We need to go figure out what we're gonna do today." And he was like, "And I want to incorporate a good swing." And we came up with that within 10 minutes, and I was like, "Man, this is gonna be too easy." And me half awake, I kind of messed with it and tried it, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is tough." Um, and
It was so fun though. Like
it
what
was a
was
lot of fun. I love seeing everybody incorporate all of the obstacles there at the end, all of the events. I was like, this is pretty dope.
what I loved about it was so like going back to where I started in tree care. These guys I started with were like they had all the physical potential. They had all the talent. Like small, like big muscles, small frames, no body fat, not afraid of heights. And here I came in, tend to carry a little bit more body fat, scared of heights.
Yeah.
Oh, like a little bit bigger than these guys by, like 20 to 30 pounds. And so, like, my whole career, I've always been about eliminating unnecessary steps if I can. That's why I like to sew those tips on the end of my rope. How many times you tie a rope to clip it to your saddle to drag it through the tree with you? If it's already got an end on the end of it, just or a loop on the end of it, clip it in, go. So,
Yeah.
like, finding ways to eliminate steps. That's how I try to stay productive. Um, and so what was really fun about the challenge, because that's why I love the Trias challenge, because like when I see it, I'm like, okay, so how can I eliminate more steps? Because that's where my speed is. I'm not like, dude, Michael Short. Oh my goodness. Like the dude is the epitome of tree climber physique. It's awesome. Like, and I love watching him climb. He's got a beautiful finesse.
He's
Uh,
he's came a long ways too. So I haven't seen him climb much. him and we kind of got off to a funny start. I was working for the Trieste, and there was some easy stuff to be done. And I've been told when I go there, they're like, "Hey, we don't want you to do everything. We want you to lead. We want you to mentor. We want you to show these guys, and we want you to push them." And it was funny. Michael, he made a comment to me. I think I went there to work for like 2 days one week, and I asked him. I was like, "Hey, like, who wants to do what? Like, I'm down to do this project over here. I'm down to do whatever. I'm going to do it." And he told me, he was like, "Hey, you're the celebrity climber, so why don't you just do it?" And it was funny. Right then, I kind of put a tick in my head. I was like, Michael Short. Mm-hmm. And I dogged him. I think I came in and I worked another week, and I dogged that dude. I was putting him in. I was going for it, and then the next week I came again, and I requested. I was like, I want Michael Short on my crew. He made this comment to me, and I'm feeling a little bit of a ways, and I want to push this fool. I really want to push him. And I was watching videos of these Trias comps of Michael Short, and I'm like, oh my goodness, look at that guy. Like, he's changed a lot. His
Yeah,
climbing, he's fast, he's skilled, he's got the build.
dude, I
He's
love
going
it.
to do good.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. Like if he keeps pushing and pushing and getting like starting running some comps, man,
Yeah.
he's gonna
Well,
take off.
he's going to do some Charlotte, and we'll bump into that with competition. So you're doing Charlotte as well.
Yeah, yeah, but well, yeah, if we can get in, dude, there's so many people gunning for it this year. We'll see if we can get it in, but that's
It's
the plan.
packed, man. I told David too. So the way that I've ran Charlotte, if I know homies that want to do it, it's sold out in minutes.
Right.
Literally minutes it's sold. So I'll wake up 30 minutes prior and I've got it on my web browser and I'm like refreshing it as soon as as soon as it opens. And that's how quick it sells out, dude. The Charlotte is huge. And it's a fun event.
Yeah.
Um, a
Oh
lot
man.
of big names there. I never expect to really place or do well, but just the people you get to climb with. I think last year I had a couple good people in my group. Jeff Inman, he was the
Mhm.
guy that he was like our group leader, and he left it amazing. Jeff Inman's the man. Man's in his name. He's awesome, dude. And I got
Man,
really blessed with
I've been
that.
trying to get up there to hang out with True Timber again. Company I started with worked with True Timber back in 2012 for a couple weeks to do some hurricane cleanup. And Jeff wasn't part of the crew then, but even then, the company's just phenomenal. The owners there, it's a really special thing going there too. And once I heard that Jeff was there, and I've talked to him at several trade shows, and like the past couple of years, he's probably sick of looking at me because I had just not like I keep like, man, I've got to get out and see you guys this year. This year's going to be the year, and I still haven't gotten out there to hang out. I really want to see what they're doing now because it sounds like some
It
awesome stuff.
it looks big, dude. I follow his page and I follow True Timber, and they're always hiring, and it looks like they've got a great caliber of dudes. And they're always on some great projects. It always looks something fun.
Yeah, yeah, I would to climb with Jeff every day for a while. That would be insane. But
Yeah, just for that day at Charlotte, man. He's a family man, and he's a company man, and he's a true arborist. He's got those traits at the Trius. Like, he's just giving, he's open. I've been in a couple competitions now, and some of the folks aren't too nice. Some of the guys in the group, some of the guys that they're going to place, they're going to do well. They don't want to give up them tips and the secrets and what they're running and how they're doing it. And Jeff's just all in.
man, and
That
that
dude is all in.
that bothers me so much to see the other side what you described because you know I got to have a really cool interview and talk to Mark Chisholm for a while about all of that. Man, it's been almost 2 years ago now, I guess, but And he was sharing how the comp scene used to be all ultra competitive, everybody out there to win and just their thing, and how he was part of the group to really push that out and to really focus on like encouraging one another, supporting one another. And I
Yeah.
hate to see some of this. I mean, you're never going to fully eliminate that. I'm sure there's always going to be individuals, but I do hate to see some of that, especially in, among some of the guys that are winning. Like, I'm like, come on, man. Like,
So
really, like you're out here so much to win that you're gonna push off somebody asking you a question. Like you could have really changed that person's career in 30 seconds. That's all it takes sometimes, man.
it
Like somebody
does.
asks for a
Yeah.
tip and it blows their mind. And not only does it change the way they do things from now on in that specific thing, but it also lights a fire, man. That thing gets those people going. But then when you like turn around and be like, oh man, don't get me out of my zone right now. I'm trying to get in my zone. I'm like, dude, come
Yeah.
on. Is it that important?
So one of the best things that I've seen, I think it was Dustin Goodman did a post. I think it was an interview. I think he had an interview with somebody, and he put it in really good terms about like they're like, oh, this is a competition and stuff. Like, where are you trying to place? Who are you trying to beat? And Dustin was like, I'm trying to beat myself. He's like, I'm trying to beat myself from my last comp and the comp before that and the comp before that. He's like, I'm just trying to do better. So he's like, I'm in a competition with myself and I'm surrounded by these great dupe of dudes that are going to help that. And he's like, if I make it to Masters, that's cool. I'm going to run it. And I love that kind of perspective. I was like, yeah, like whenever I go in, whatever, I'm trying to do better at something. And I never really see, I'm normally watching the people as a contract climber. I don't get to see a whole lot of. I'm never surrounded by a lot of really good climbers. That's why they call me in. I'm not a great climber or nothing, but that's why they call me in. And when I get to these comps, I'm watching, I'm observing. I'm like, what gear are they using? Look at this new technique. Look at that swing. Like, look at how he handled that. I could do this different. I could do this better. And it's weird that people won't give that up. And it's so dumb too. I don't understand it.
Yeah, 100% with you.
I went to do
Yes.
an this is a perfect example. I went to do an aerial rescue my first comp, and this was natural state in Arkansas. Natural state tree climbing competition, dude. If you can get to one, highly advise it. Great group of dudes, a lot of fun. The closest to Charlotte that I have felt so far.
Hmm.
But I went to go do an aerial rescue, and they were talking about pickoffs, no pickoffs, and I was like, "Well, what's this pickoff thing that you're talking about?" And I'm not going to mention the climber's name, but he's a good climber. He's amazing. He makes it to Masters a lot. He's big in the he's big over there. Whatever. But
Okay.
and I was asking him about it, and he was like, would not show me. He just did not want to show me. And I was like, hey man, like I'm not getting ready to change my entire. Normally when I go into AR, I've got a separate rescue system kind of set up, hidden in a bag. I was like, I'm not getting ready to change that. I'm literally about to walk in to the arena. I'm really about to go out there. I was just asking you because I kind of want to see it.
Hmm.
Like I'm not getting ready to change my go bag, and he did not want to show me. And then at the end of the comp, he was like, "Hey, if you want to come check this out, I'll show you now." And I'm like, "No, dude, like I don't care. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna YouTube it because I'm sure I could find it. I'm sure someone has this information." And it was a bummer. It was a really big bummer because he was the leader of our group and the most veteran climber, and it really upset me. It kind of pissed me off. I was like, I'm not getting ready to change my entire setup.
Heard, man.
You're
Yeah.
in the front. Why are you worried about me? Like, I'm probably getting ready to go blow this aerial rescue, anyways. So,
That's what makes the gems that much, more valuable, right? Like guys like Jeff Inman and like, oh, was it James Earnhardt or,
oh yeah. So James Earnhardt was in my group in Natural State, my first comp, dude, and
what?
Yeah. And he crushed it. Oh my goodness, that dude. And all on moving rope too. It was like all on moving rope and foot locking. He was doing some secured foot locks. Oh, dude, he was he's amazing. So so much finesse that it's effortless. And I think that goes a lot with his height and then the years in because he's like his stride. It amazed me watching him secure footlock because he would get his height. The dude's over 6 foot easy.
Oh yeah.
The dude's easily like he might be 6'3" or something.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was gonna say he's probably closer to 7 than he is 6.
Yeah, and he's getting his height. It's like he'd go to secure footlock, and everybody's like, he's so fast, and I'm like, he's taking so much advantage of those strides. When that guy footlocks, he's grabbing up, and his feet are at his head, and he takes
Man,
one step, and yeah, he's 7 foot in the air at that point. It's
dude.
insane.
I've never gotten to see him climb, but just being around him this year at Southern, volunteering with him, like I wish that I could have been like at his event with him the whole time, just hanging out with him because like every time you talk to him, you just counted it a blessing. You're just like, dude, I just got to talk to this guy, and it was such an experience, and just because he
Yeah,
cares so much.
yeah, and that aerial rescue event that was fun. I really liked the Southern AR. I felt like it focused so much on patient care. That's where a lot of the points and stuff were at was the patient care because it wasn't a hard rescue. But those ISA events, they really can't make them that hard. They limit you so much on time compared to Charlotte. That's probably the hardest AR that I've been in, and I did really well in that one. I was really stoked on how that came out. But I loved at how hard that the Southern that really focused on that patient care. You could get so many points on that.
Hmm.
And it was little things that I just didn't think about too. I was like, oh, I did a good rescue. I got him down quick. And then I was like, watching other folks go, Sean Welch and oh man, I'm forgetting her name. Um, Geez, I'm blowing that one.
Oh man, I know who you're talking about, and yep, I'm right there with you. Got
Yeah,
nothing. Got nothing.
geez, I'm forgetting her name, but I watched hers, and again, she focused so much on that patient care. They got him down quick, and then they didn't disconnect him from the system or nothing. They're over there giving him water and putting some cold packs on him, and I'm just like, man, I'm a dummy. I brought a bottle of water, and they're over there cooling extremities with buffs, and but so Charlotte's going to be fun, dude. I'm stoked you're going to be there. I wonder if they're going to pull it off in the. Were you there last year in the cemetery?
Yeah, man. I think the goal is still to be the cemetery again this year.
It sounds like it, and it sounds like the last week of October again, or the last
Yeah,
weekend, which that's
man.
going to be a packed time. There's Charlotte, and then Expo is following the week behind it.
Yeah, in Charlotte, like, yeah, it's gonna be nuts, man. I don't know. I'm a little nervous just because I haven't competed since 2015.
Dude,
um,
just man, like that attitude. I just go in and have fun, and I know there's events that I take seriously, and there's events that I just want to have fun on. I mean, really, I don't think I take anything seriously except for AR. I take AR very seriously.
well, I'm also
But
excited because I haven't competed since 2015. Like, I'm excited. I just want to see what I can do and really throw
yeah,
myself out there. And yeah, I do want to see where I fall at the end of it. Just throw myself out there, see where I land among everybody, and just yeah. I mean, I do plan on having fun, but I'm always nervous. We go to the treeist on Saturdays. I'm nervous every time I go to the treeist to do our little challenges. Like always, like I don't know. It's just part of I guess how I approach things.
oh, dude, that was so much fun too. Like waking up in the morning, and I was like, oh, Daryl's about to be here, and I'm gonna have a good time. And then David told me he was like, well, you guys aren't gonna win, and I was like, no, no, I get that. I was like, I just want to have fun with Daryl.
Man, when I heard you were coming up, I was like, heck yes, man. Like, because that's what kind of got me going. Because I was like, all right, got some got some stiff competition coming in today. I got to be on my A game today, and again, like, yeah, that was so much fun.
Dude, you're gonna have a blast. I'm really stoked you're gonna be at Charlotte, and I'm hoping David will be able to make it. David Ricks, he's wanting to compete. He's got I think he mentioned it while you were there at the Triest.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
Yes,
man, he's
he
got
did.
another. We'll see, a healthy boy or a healthy girl in the way. I know. I think
Man.
Emily's got her fingers crossed for a girl.
Right, dude. I get so excited about babies. And obviously, I have six. I love them. I love when people
Me,
decide to do that and have children, and
me
it's just
too. And they're all in, dude. And I love it. I love it. Lindsay and I, we talk about a third all the time because yeah, we love babies. We love our kids. I love the entire process, especially now. Your kids are older than mine, but my 6 year old Oliver, dude, it's been so much fun. I mean, just watching this guy develop and his personality, and he's such a caring and loving dude. And I'm like, man, we've helped that. Like we've helped guide that, and it's such a oh man, it's so cool.
yeah. I mean, I
And
don't know
you,
your background. Like, I didn't grow up with a dad, and like that's been a cool thing. Just yeah, getting to watch that. Like, so I've got a 3 year old. My number five, he's three, and he's my curly redhead, and he is a redhead, full through and through. Love it, man. And
yeah.
so he's always earnest, and his emotions are always on the surface. But like,
Oh, so that yeah, that must be you right there.
but the same, but the same way, he's just got that huge heart, and just like, and the affection that we have had for each other since he was born. The connection that he and I have had has been very different than like any of the rest of my kids. I mean, they're all different. So like, there's no favorites, but it's definitely a different
Yeah,
connection with him and his level of affection. And like you said, like knowing that we get to play a part in that, and like for me, getting to be there, knowing what going without that growing up can what the challenges you can face with that, and just knowing that getting to be there with my kids. And definitely I'm not the perfect dad. I hope to eventually become a good dad before they're gone.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that's kind of where we all are, but uh just knowing that I get to be there and show that affection, and seeing what that's doing for him at 3. Yeah, dude.
yeah. And we grow every day. We change. Like I had my father was non-existent as well, and um, I remember telling Lindsay at first, I was like, I think this is going to be a problem because I didn't have a father. I don't know how to be one. And she's like, you're going to be fine. And I was like, okay, well, I'll figure this out. And it's been amazing. And I love when I walk into the door at night and the kids are screaming for me and they want to give me hugs and they want to love on me. And I'm like, this is what it's about. Like, this is cool. Like, and yeah, man, it's great. And they want to. Are you kids climbing it or anything at all? Are they interested?
um they've climbed some, not as much as I would like. I've
Yeah,
got I've got one daughter who's just a natural. She just knows how to use her body to maintain momentum, and just to not have to muscle through things. And it's really fun to watch that finesse. I taught her how to foot
yeah,
lock once, and she retained it. And like, she was foot, and like at the time, so we hate having to buy shoes over and over and over again, and they smell bad, this and that, blah blah blah. So like, I ditched everything and bought Chacos, because you can wash them, you
yeah.
can pass them down, whatever. Um, but like one day they want to go climbing. I was like, oh, we have Chacos. I don't have any boots for them right now. And she's like foot locking a single line with Chacos and just not thinking about it. Like, you're a
Oh, beast
beast.
mode,
Yeah, like, I love
beast
you.
mode.
But yeah, so like, she really likes it. Actually, most of them, sadly, like, I hate it. They inherited my the fear heights that I inherited. Um, like, I've learned to overcome. They are still, that's part of our job, is to equip them to overcome that. But they very much got a dose of it.
Yeah. And
Uh,
I mean, it's healthy too. I remember my first company I worked with, my job interview. I've done a little bit of rock climbing back in the day, and when I came into tree work, I remember my first company. The owner asked me if I was afraid of heights, and I was like, "No, absolutely not. I'm good." And the first big loblolly pine that I got out here, Forest Acres here in Columbia, and I'd love to get you down here to climb, direct climb sometime down in the Congaree Basin. We've got some tall pines, dude. I mean, the national state champs in there,
ooh,
and it's the national state champ. I mean, there's still ones smaller than that, smaller, still 170, 160 foot tall.
oh, fun.
Oh yeah, I never thought I was afraid of heights, but the first fall tall pine removal I got in, it was probably about 100 and it was over 150, probably by not too much. I topped it at 120 because I'm a scaredy cat, and it was a terrible decision. But but I remember I was not afraid. I never thought I was afraid of heights, and then I got in that tree, and I'm like, oh, this is terrifying. Like I was 6 or 8 months into my climbing career at that point.
Oh wow, yeah, that is terrifying.
I was like, this is terrifying, and I'm getting ready to make this big cut because I'm scared, and that's when things pop off. Luckily, we got away with this one, but yeah, and I tell people too. They're asking me if I'm afraid of heights, and I'm like, I've got a healthy fear. I was like, but the thing that saves me is the trust in my gear, the trust in my knowledge.
Yeah, man,
That's what gets me
absolutely.
through.
Yeah, I just had a lady on Friday. She's part of a stage rigging union, maybe. I don't know the way they're set up or a company. Um, and she was like, "Hey, you should check this out if you ever want to do it, just like on the side or whatever." She's like, "You're obviously not afraid of heights," and I held back a laugh. And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah,
When I was a kid, I grew up in the mountains, and when we drove over a mountain, I crawled on the floorboard of the car and I couldn't look out the window.
yeah.
Like, we would park at the mountain overlook so everybody could climb up the tower and look out over the mountains, and I stayed in the car just shaking. Like so when I say scared of heights, like it was intense.
Yeah.
Now for whatever weird reason, planes didn't bother me that much because I figured at that point, like if something goes wrong, I'm just dead and there's nothing we can do about it.
Hopefully, it's over quick. Yeah,
But I think it was always like falling over the side of a mountain and like breaking stuff and being just like a crushed meat bag was like that was the scary part. Like I never climbed more than 15 feet in a tree as a kid. I just like for me, I was like, okay, this is where I break bones, and I don't want to lose my summer, so no, I'm not going any higher.
see, that's where I think I've lucked out. I was that dummy when I was a kid that I would go and buy the accessory carabiners that have it written on the side, not for climbing. And I'm out there trying to figure out how I could rig that carabiner up for climbing. I'm like, I'm looking at the braking strength and it says it's only 100 pounds. I'm only 80. It's fine with the single action. And I would climb to the top of pine trees with the carabiner and a piece of rope that I don't even know what kind of knots I was tying. Stupid knots. I would try it. And I think most of the time I was falling out of the tree more than I was actually climbing down.
Nice. But see, man, but it's like that's the story I feel like I hear from most tree guys, and like here I am over in the corner being like, not me, guys, like not me. Oh, nah, man, like no, that was not my thing. Like zip
Yeah.
lines scared me, everything scared me, and then like 3 weeks into tree work, I'm like, okay, how do I make a career of this on the ground? Like, how do I make a career in
I'm
arboriculture
gonna get my
on the ground?
CDL. I'm gonna become a really good equipment operator.
Right. Like, yeah, like how do I make money at this and never get in the air? And then 3 weeks
Yeah.
in, the guy who was leading the crew was like, hey, have you climbed yet? Like, nah, you are today. And had me go up 4 trees and prune them. And like I just remember like, my arms were so cramped because of the way I was just gripping onto that rope, just the whole time telling myself,
Yeah.
you know, this rope, other people have climbed this rope. it holds them. It was engineered to hold you. Like, you're okay. Like, this is the conversation I'm having the entire time. I'm like white knuckling this rope. I
Yeah.
get cramps in my elbows. Like, I can't straighten my arms out because I'm so cramped up. And then here I am, loving what I do, dude. Like,
It is
um,
it's awesome too, man. I tell folks all the time that get into climbing and one to tree work. I'm like, dude, get into the climbing, and they'll, I tell them, I'm like, dude, it's so much easier in the tree than it is on the ground. It's so much easier. I was like, once you develop that technique, you get over that white knuckling, you get over the shaking. I'm like, dude, they're like, you look like a natural, and I'm like, and you can too.
yes.
You can too, and it's almost like sometimes I wonder. Some days I'm getting paid to have so much fun, and I'm hanging out with good guys, and I love it when I get to the ground and people are asking questions and they want to talk, and I'm like, hey, dude, anytime you want to ride, let me know, dude. I'm down. Like, let's do it.
My dream is still to put a homeowner in a tree by like before I walk off a job site, just because like they get so interested. I'm like, dude, I got extra saddles, I got extra gear. Like, let's make this happen. I've had nobody take me up on it yet, but like that's my dream. One
Yeah,
day somebody's gonna take me up on that. Yeah, whatever the legal repercussions, we'll figure it out.
yeah.
But,
So
dude, I mean,
we'll get to wrapping this thing up, man. So the mobile gear locker, you're figuring it out. You're kind of done for now, but you're figuring something out.
well, so that's not confused. Mine was the rope truck. I don't want to be confused
The
with
rope truck.
Todd,
God, yeah.
because his like that's the mobile gear locker. I totally respect him, like what he's built, and I understand how hard it is because I've tried, and he's done so well.
I listened to his podcast recently. I think with Treesus, and that was
Okay.
really good. Yeah, man. And I could tell that that dude has poured his heart, body, and soul into that project, and I'm glad. I just met him for the first time at Southern, Todd, and that was cool.
Dude, he jumped on my truck and gave me like a fire hose of advice on the truck, which was mad respect. Like, wow, that he was willing to do that. It kind
Yeah.
of broke my heart that gave me all that advice and then I ended up shutting the doors on it anyway, just because I don't want to disrespect him, but no,
You've got plans, and I don't want you to spoil them. And I know we're all eager. I was stoked at the Trius this weekend. I was like, man, I didn't see him roll up in his van. What's going on? And then you had that bag of gear, and you had exactly what I wanted, and I was stoked on that. And I mean, you had plenty of things that people want to try. I mean, was it Matt Holiday got that mini porter wrap, and he was already running it this week. That was
yeah,
sweet.
yeah. So we'll see what the future holds, but there's a lot of changes coming here pretty soon. I'm not talking about quite yet, but we'll
No,
see.
dude. No, don't give away. So, is there anything you're looking forward to this next year? I know we got a lot. We got, well,
You know,
not even the next year.
I
The year's
am.
almost over. It's fast.
Some of it evolves, some of what I'm not talking about yet, but I will say I am very eager this year about what is coming up. And that I'm getting in a position where I really get put myself back into a hardcore learning situation. And like anybody who's contracted knows what I'm talking about. Like, when you get to the point where you're the most experienced person on the team, or,
You get
you're,
stagnant.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I hope, if all works out here, I'll find out very soon. I will get to be in just the learning seat again. I'm super excited about that. I really get to push myself in some new ways, and still getting to do what I love. So it's going to be pretty exciting. Hopefully, yeah, I'll find out. It should be this coming week. I'll find out for sure. So I can you'll find out on Instagram probably pretty quick if it goes through. But
Hell yeah, man.
man, chewing on something to wrap up. If I can just share like one thing in particular, we were talking about the fear of heights, and I was just thinking about like, probably the thing there's been a few things that have really defined my career so far that I feel like I think there are things I always want to pass on to other people. Because for me, it's not just about tree climbing; it's about growing as people. It's about maximizing what we have in front of us, finding joy in what we do, and living life that truly is giving to other people. And that whole thing about fear, like The biggest thing that's been defining for me time and time and time again is usually your greatest loves are usually locked behind the doors of your greatest fears. And if you will face those fears, you will unlock loves that you never dreamed of having. Um, I found that true with just rope. I am obsessed and a nerd about rope. It is one of the oldest tools known to man, one of the most versatile. The only thing you can't do with a rope is push it. And like, I was terrified of tying knots as a kid.
Yeah.
um,
Uh,
you know, so many things. There's so many things. Every time I have faced a major fear, I have found an even greater love on the other side of it for the thing that I was afraid of. And I think, yeah, honestly, so, and you weren't asking for closing thoughts, but I will say, like, that is something I feel like anybody can take with them and turn it into good for where they're going.
dude, no, I think that was perfect, and I loved all of that. That was awesome, dude. I dude, I appreciate it. I appreciate you, and I appreciate man, like we just got kind of thrown together, and I'm happy. I feel like we're building a good friendship, and hopefully I'll be joining you with Nat soon. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to ask on the recording necessarily, but I was going to see how that application went.
Oh, dude, yeah, I sent it out, and we'll see how it goes. There's some things that I need to work on. I think my CPR and first aid has lapsed over. I need to get that worked out, but luckily there's some folks here in town that I can situate that with. It seemed like CPR and the first aid was, and I love that was the thing that they want the most, and it makes sense. It does make sense. I mean, we're doing a pretty high risk job that we try to mitigate the best that we can. We try to mitigate those hazards, and then you get into a situation like you were your first training episode, and then a drive by shooting happens.
Yeah,
So, and
yeah.
I love that your response to that. We were getting ready to go over there and handle some business if we needed to. That's
Well, I mean, if it's happening in the school, we want to be there to support how we can. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
and
for
it
sure, dude.
wasn't just me. Like, I mean, the Farrow brothers; those were the guys walking over the hill to see what was going on, man.
I feel like those were the guys that initiated it. They seem like they would be like, hey, we've got chainsaws, we've got hand saws. We're from Virginia. We're in Virginia. We're mountain boys. We're ready to
That's
roll.
right. That's right. Yeah, and yeah, I won't let Ryan spoil his news. All I'm just gonna say is, yeah, man, we'll come out.
Yeah, I heard he might be stepping in, so that's cool. I'll
Right
leave
on.
it at that.
Yeah, man. So let's just say we could have a killer East Coast team here soon.
We could, yeah, dude, and that's going to be sweet. So Nats is something that I've loved. North American Training Solutions. My first Arborfest years ago, Nats was there, and they just made such a good impression. And that Arborfest I hold near and dear to me because that's where I met David Ricks for the first time and got brought out there. Got introduced with Nats. I've been to an expo before, but nothing compares to. I just love Artfest. It feels so personal, and Nats running that crew. I really enjoyed that Arborfest. I felt like they this year it felt like Academy put in a lot of big things. Academy, Academy training, is that what they are?
Yeah, Academy Trained, I think is the name.
Yeah, I saw their exclusive cloggers, and man, I don't need any more of those, but
Right.
I want them. So cool, man. I appreciate you giving up some time this Sunday night. And so we can find you, your Instagram handle, 3_strand dot
Underscore
underscore
TCS.
TCS, 3_strand _TCS.
Had to make it hard.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, dude, I love it. I see the 3 strand, and that's how people, I'll mention you, and they're like, oh, 3 strand. And I'm like, yeah, dude. Yeah, that's
Oh,
a
that's
hoopy.
cool. That's cool.
That's a homie. But dude, I appreciate you and have a good, safe week. And I'll see you. So this weekend, not this Triest, but the next one, 2 weeks from now, we'll catch up, dude.
Heck yeah, man. Sounds awesome, dude. Appreciate you. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
A lot
brother.
of
And
fun.
thank you. I know a lot of people were wanting it. I was being asked. They're like, "You're cool with Daryl, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm cool with Daryl." They're like, "Get him
Well,
on."
well, Tana and Emily, all you guys, I hope, I hope you got what you wanted.
Dude, I think they've got it. Your ending, man. I love that. That was beautiful. Yeah, that was
Awesome, man.
beautiful.
Well, dude, appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Well, you have a good night, dude.
All right, take care.
Yep. Later, bud.
Bye.